Bitcoin daily update. We're going to start off on the 4-hour chart, then we'll zoom out to the daily. So 4-hour chart's good to know what's going to happen today and the next few days even. Support and resistance. Our resistance line up here been hit 13 times. These are 4-hour candles. We've hit it 13 times with no break above. So if it closes above that, the odds improve of us going to the upside. All you have are the odds, right? Nothing guaranteed. So that's the whole point of DA, is to try to increase the odds in your favor of what you think is going to happen. And nothing more, nothing less, right? So the bottom, support, we've hit this 7 times. So 29.8 to the low side, 30,008 to the high side. So that's where we want to see a closing price. If you want a closing price, right, you see the low closes, the high closes, right? That's what that line is up there. You can add this. That is, takes out all the wicks, the highs, the lows, just puts it where the candles close. So what we want to see is this blue line either up there or down there to get a greater confirmation of that direction. So having said that, which way do we lean? Well, you got to lean bullish. Why? I'm glad you asked. Well, we've been in an uptrend all of 2023, if you haven't noticed. That would be a big case, right? You don't want to fight the trend. Even on the 4-hour chart, where's our trend? Even though right now it's sideways, right? After, where do we come from, right? Usually bullish continuation after a move up. You have to digest the move, right? Sideways, and then usually just continuation from the side you came from. But since we're in a bull market, since we're in an uptrend, you have to favor the bulls. You're also holding above all your moving averages. So that is another case to be made for the bulls. Now, what would the bears argue? Well, the bears would argue that you have a bigger resistance because you've hit that 13 times than support. You're in a slight downtrend here, but this is also kind of a flag formation from the move to the upside, right? Your flags will have a pull, and then you have lower highs and lower lows, right? This is a bull flag, right? This is where you would kind of break out, and our breakout would likely confirm again above 30,800. So that's where I would err on. If you're gonna just rely on TA at all, you'd have to at least give that the benefit of the doubt for the 4-hour. Now, how about for the bears? Well, for the indicators, well, you would argue that you're getting a slight downtrend on the MFI here. The RSI is looking relatively weak around the 50 mark, right? After being in a power move up. Okay, I'll give them that. But the bulls kind of still win on this scenario as well. Your Fisher transform is just triggered up, right? Trigger buy as that crosses. We're running parallel. Good sign there. Also, your stochastic RSI, the momentum, right, has also triggered back to the upside. We haven't put in a higher high yet. If we do that, then again, further higher side is more likely. Also, the ADX and DI is now curled back, right? The ADX in the orange. And with the bulls on top in the green, right, that is where we want to pay attention to. But you really want to see this ADX, the orange line above 25 before you put too much weight into this. So we maybe a couple more days. We'll give it to maybe even a couple more candles, right? If we're moving higher, you want to watch this for more momentum to the upside. So the power of the trend is your ADX, and whoever's on top, that's who's in charge. So like we got back here, see the ADX line increasing, right? 25, that tells you a big power move, right? What else do we got? How about we zoom out to the daily, see what the bulls and bears got here, right? You always want to look at both sides of the coin. Always bullish or always bearish is no good, right? You're just trying to fit a narrative, either theirs or yours, right? So you want to look at both sides, and then whoever's got the most odds in favor, right? Just like a courtroom, right? Whoever's got the most evidence usually wins. Usually, so bears, I would argue that we're high on all our indicators. Bulls would argue that we're high on all our indicators, right? So you want these things, right? MFI, the money flow index, that includes money coming into the said asset. However, right, it seems like we're trying to lose steam here on our momentum. It doesn't mean prices necessarily follow, but usually, when you start to lose momentum, it's hard to make those big pushes higher. So now we're on the daily chart, and Fisher transform, we've triggered down. Usually not a great sign when you have mixed signals, right? That leads to price sideways action, right? Which we're getting. And the 4-hour chart is just crossed up. The daily chart is just crossed down. You'd obviously want to put a little bit more weight into the higher time frame, which is the daily here. But you also want to, side note here, let's zoom back in here. you want to watch for also flag formations on your indicators, right? Just like we got here, this move up, right? Like this, and then break out to the upside. How about now? Well, what if we move up, and what if we only go down to like, 30,000 again, or 29.5, and then kind of revert? You want to watch for that, right? And then, we might be at 35K before you have a chance to breathe, right? So watch for that. What else we got? Let's see what any other indicators, right? The RSI on the daily, still in an uptrend, still looking good. And guess what? What kind of formation are we in here? Right, looking good. So far, so good on that. So that was, bulls would argue that. Right, so that's the bulls and the bears on the indicators. How about for price? Well, uptrend, right? Consolidation after a move. This is nothing unusual. After you have a nice move, you're going to have some digestion. And then where you go, right, you're looking for breakouts. So for us, 30,800, even on the daily chart, still seems to hold true, right? We're looking at right around that level, right? If we can close above that, further upside potential is the greater odds. And again, right, on the downside, right, if we close under here, not only are we making a new lower close, right, that close at 29,886, but we would also close under the EMA 8, which is a warning, right? You go back in history, right, and you see this move back here, back in April, right? We closed below the EMA 8. That was a warning, right? And then we came back up just briefly, right to the local highs, and then send it down, right? So you want to be watching for a scenario similar to that. Okay, so if you close below the EMA 8, right, you should, for the Uber bulls to maintain momentum, which we still have, you have to go down to the EMA 8, tap it, and then go again, right? Which we've done so far. We just hit it yesterday and tippy-toed right off that mother. And now we're back up, but we're still sideways, so we're looking for a break, a clean break of one or the other, a close. Remember, closing right there, right? Not wicks, right? Just because you see price down here or up here doesn't mean anything, right? Look at all these wicks up here. Closing price is what you want to watch for, okay? So hopefully that helps. Daily update, we'll try to do these pretty much every day during the week, just to keep you updated. So if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. If you haven't watched any of these, consider watching. All right, what else do we got? Quote of the day. We like to do quotes of the day at the end of these. Progress was all right, only it went on too long. Sure, bud. I don't pick them. I just read them every day, right? So some are better than the others. Car of the day, or non-car of the day, I should say. My favorite motorcycle ever. I've owned a bike, but not for a long time. Not since kids. The Ducati Diavolo. Just love it, right? Yamaha, big fan of Yamahas. I got these. I got these as well. I got motorcycles. I got just a few cars. That's only like a few percentage of what I've got. They're all around my room here. The Ducati Diavolo, my favorite bike ever. And what could be better than this? How about a custom Lamborghini tuned version? I'm not making this up, right? One of 63, right? They only made 63. Lambo wheels, not a joke. This is real. They're only about 50K. So if you want to spend 50K on a motorbike, here you go, right? And it even says Lamborghini right under there. If you can see that, 63. The custom painted, custom wheels, by Lambo, no less. And there's only 63 in the world. So if anybody wants to get an early Christmas gift, I'll take one of these. You don't have to give me two, just one. One will do. All right. That's Bitcoin wrapped up in a nutshell. We'll see what we get. We're kind of right in the middle here. So 30,008, 29.8. It's $1,000 play, and we've been dinging back and forth for a long time. So zoom into the 4 hour, get a heads up of where we're going. Look how tight the Bollinger Bands are. Likely a bigger move. Not so long in the future, right? A couple days could. I would expect it. Usually the founder of this, John Bollinger, give him a follow on Twitter. He puts out some good stuff every now and again. He likes when these close and pinch and then it goes immediately. Then you have a better tell of which way it's going to go if it goes quickly. The longer it takes, the more of a coin flip it is, right? Based on him. That's what he says, right? So coin flip at this point. But you're leaning bulls because of all the shit we just said. Did you not listen? Open your ears next time. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Consider joining Telegram. I've flubbed it up again, right? You're supposed to give all this up front because only 2 people watch this far. So I'll see you on Twitter or Telegram. It's all linked below, whatever.